Hey, this is Cameron, and welcome to the reaction log. Whoa! Alright, we got a spicy one here for you. Who have I reacted to that's sort of in this realm? I've done Marson. You guys remember that? Not the classical Marson, but the, well, you guys might think of as classical Marson. He's not to us. Tappy Tappy Marson is the one that I've reacted to. Who else? Jacob Coyer. He's kind of separated from this, but kind of in the same vein a little bit. Might as well come back at you with Polyphia's Tim Henson. Welcome, Tim Henson. I'm just reacting to a video of his. He's not here right now. Hey, what's the deal with the name Polyphia, huh? Well, there are two musical concepts that name kind of reminds me of. And let's actually talk about that. Let's get a freaking definition of polyphony. Polyphony. Hey, why is it that every polyphonic musician looks like this? Am I right, guys? Sorry, I've been on Instagram too much. So you're having trouble fuging your wife? Has your marriage become dysfunctional? Perhaps polyphony is the answer for you. Yeah, my wife said that she wants to start practicing polyphony. So from our bedroom, instead of just hearing two voices, you're gonna hear four voices. Four voices combined in a number of parts, each forming an individual melody and harmonizing with one another, that is. His love affair with 16th century European polyphony. Wow, amazing. It is a sultry topic, honestly. So, Polyphia, where does that come from? It probably comes from the word polyphony. You ever listen to any of Polyphia's music? No polyphony to be found. Is this like a joke? I'm just saying they don't have polyphony. If you want to hear an example of polyphony, come home early from work and find your wife harmonizing with 3 other partners you didn't know about. I don't know why this is the thing. This is not the usual sore hands fashion. I am a family-friendly channel. I'm only talking about musical concepts right now. If you listen to any of their music, there is no real polyphony. Like, real polyphonic music is like a fugue. I have a recording of a fugue, by the way. Go and listen to that, or listen to any other recording of any other fugue. Yeah, so what they should have gone with was basing their name off of homophony or homophony, a musical texture where a primary melody is supported by harmony, and that's really what you're hearing with songs like Playing God and Goat and stuff, and really anything else. It's a guitar melody, and perhaps the melody is doubled with another guitar like in thirds or whatever, but it's not more than one unique melody, usually, like you would hear in a fugue or something. So my point is, based on this, I think that Polyphia should have their name changed to Homophia or homophia, but I guess they're not as into that for some reason. The next thing that you might think of is polyrhythms, maybe. Like, I could see where you might come from that, like Polyphia, polyrhythms. There are no polyrhythms in Polyphia. The only rhythmic textures that you really hear are just like switches between duple and triple, kind of like what you hear in like rap and hip-hop music, like marching band music. You hear that all the time too. Like just switching between like 8th notes, triplets, and then 16th notes, just a lot consecutively, which is very common in music because like it sounds good. Polyrhythms are one of those things that sounds cool to like implement into the music that you're writing, but then when you actually do, it sounds like freaking horrible. Like, it sounds like nothing.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You ever hear a Polyphia song that has that in it? No, because it would sound freaking dumb. So they don't do that. They want to sound cool. Polyphia's music is stuff that you'd hear in a club, and if they did play Polyphia in a club, I would be freaking out. Like, it would be amazing. It's like the best case scenario of music that you could ever hear as a musician in a club. But it doesn't really involve polyphony. It definitely doesn't involve polyrhythms. So their name is kind of just a mystery to me. Why'd they call it that? And I don't mean this in a hateful way, because believe it or not, I've actually gone through phases of my life where I listened to Polyphia. Everybody I've made videos on, be it Marson, be it Jacob Coyer, though I did listen to Jacob Coyer a bit, I've never, ever listened to Marson. And I don't care to. I don't really care. Marson can keep making what he makes, and he's probably rich, and he's super famous. And that's obvious because there's schmucks like me making videos about him. They're gonna keep making videos about him. Polyphia, I've actually listened to several of their albums and enjoyed them, but it is club music. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's cool. Like, I like it. It's fun. There's definitely a time and place for it. And what I'm saying by that is I'm not like a freaking super fan like a lot of you out there that I'm sure will be defending him, but I am like a fan. I appreciate the music for what it is. I don't think he's God. I think there's tons of amazing guitarists. I do appreciate that Tim Henson perpetuates nylon string guitars. If you don't know anything about me, I am a classical guitarist. I have an undergrad and I'm going for my grad degree in the fall. Before I practice today, maybe I should spend an hour just making fun of Tim Henson on the internet instead of practicing, because that's a good use of my time. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into it and see what we got. Polyphia's Tim Henson answers guitar questions from Twitter. Awesome. On Wired. Dude, this dude's tatted up like crazy. Even his freaking sweatshirt has tattoos. Even his freaking guitar has tattoos. Oh my god. We call those tone tattoos. I don't have any tattoos. That's why my tone sucks. Dude, does he have like the devil etched into his throat? That's insane, bro. That's crazy. You're a mother's worst nightmare. Look at you.
This is guitar support.
Great. Guitar support. What kind of guitar support do you guys use? I've been liking the pillow as of recently. I do like the footstool. That's my guitar support of choice.
Why are bar chords so hard?
I appreciate the bar, spelled B-A-R. And they're not hard. What's wrong with you?
A lot of beginners' bar chords are difficult because
Lame. Who here is a beginner? Everyone here should be at least an intermediate, right?
you have to kind of place.
That's a freaking epic bar chord choice. Though, if you really want to assert your dominance, you should do that G major bar chord on A. Hit him with one of those. Take that to the campfire. Oh my god. That's a pretty dominant one to do. I mean, like, socially dominant, not like in function.
One finger across the entire fretboard. For some, like, that's just a weird movement. And really,
Yeah. This is a pretty weird movement, guys. I feel like a psycho doing that.
like, you're kind of hitting it on the side of your finger versus, like, the pad. But if you can hit,
Yeah. Oh, I'm so jealous of that. No, I'm just kidding. Don't tell my luthier I did that. If you struggle with bar chords, have you ever tried just doing this? Even if it doesn't come out? Just do it like 10 times in a row every day for like 2 months. And you really think after 2 months you're still gonna find bar chords hard? I'm just saying, like, a lot of things can be solved with just doing the thing for like a few minutes every day, consistently. Let's say you do it for 1 minute over the course of 60 days. That is basically infinitely better than doing it for an hour, which is the equivalent amount of time on one day. In that hour, you're probably gonna like injure yourself. It's gonna be like super boring. It's gonna be like fruitless, and you're gonna walk away from that. Like, I practiced for an hour and I got nowhere, versus just 1 minute. Bum, bum, bum. You'll be able to do it at the end of 2 months, and it'll take way less time dedication, and you'll have formed the habit of practice, which is super important.
and play all of those notes cleanly.
Yeah, that was nice and clean, Tim. Sounded great. Is that just what electric guitars sound like? Play it real clean. There we go. And then once you got that, you're Tim freaking Henson.
A nice bar chord.
That is a nice bar chord. Post in the comments, what chord is that, guy? Show me that you're an intermediate.
Premier Guitar asks, what's a riff that sounds easy but is actually hard to play? John Mayer's Neon. Doesn't sound
Does that sound easy?
that difficult. And then you watch him play it, he's just got his thumb stretched all the way up here.
Wait, what? That song sounds super hard. What are you talking about? That thing sounds kind of... God, what a frickin' Berkeley major, am I right? Sounds like some Berkeley music. This sounds like Berkeley music, but it's amazing how popular he managed to get this. I can't even attempt to play it. I've never attempted to learn Neon or anything like that, really. I don't know. If there ever was a chance for me to learn that song, it would have been as a teenager, and I simply never learned it as a teenager. Stuff like that is not for a grown man who studies classical to learn. That ship has sailed for me. I have to spend every waking moment working on a fugue or just some other piece that's not Neon. Like, imagine if I did a practice log where it's like, I've been working on Neon. That just can't be. That's not something that I can just do. Yeah, it's kind of sad, honestly. Maybe when I retire from Sore Hands, I'll work on my John Mayer covers or something.
Thumb stretched all the way up here, and it's incredible. So he frets the root of the chords with his thumb and then plays like just regular chords that you would normally do, like all the way up there. So it's just truly a difficult thing to play, especially if you do not have large hands.
Yeah, John Mayer, he's like the modern day Rachmaninoff. He's like Paganini. He just has these freakish hands. It's truly amazing, even for Tim Henson. He can't even fathom it, I'm sure. That's very humble of Tim. So Tim, you actually wrote this guy back. Neon doesn't sound that difficult, but then you watch him play it. He's got his thumb stretched all the way up here. Up where? It's a freaking tweet, dude. It's incredible. He frets the root of the chords with his thumb. Gee, who wrote this? Did they actually take the transcript and just send it to this poor guy? Also, why does this cover photo kind of look like a mix of Tim Henson and John Mayer in the same photo? You guys see it, right? I don't know what that's all about. Truly a difficult thing to play if you don't have large hands. Check it out. Oh, but if you do have large hands, it's super freaking easy. I'm sorry, am I being a bit much?
What the are boomer bends? Is a term coined by Rick Beato and I. It describes a very specific guitar bending lick commonly used in music from the 60s and 70s, the age of the baby boomer.
That's a very serious definition, man. Dang, could be in like a textbook. Yeah! I won't go too far into this, but my parents are very supportive of me, like, growing up to be a guitar loser idiot, which is very nice of them. They didn't have to be that way. And most parents aren't, really. But I think something that really sold my dad is that he is, you know, a boomer. Or not quite, or is he? I don't know. I think he'd, on the internet, he'd be considered to be a boomer. So when I started playing those boomer bends, he was just like, oh my god, my son's Eddie Van Halen. Like, he just let me do it. Pursue music fully. Because he was like, well, shoot. So that's a little tip. Find out what your parents like. So, like, kids, if you're watching and maybe your parents are, like, more my age, I don't know how old you are. Maybe start learning polyphia stuff. Or better yet, my kids, if you're watching this, start getting into classical and I'll be really, really proud of you. Okay, moving on.
Twang you give it, and the more, like, old guy you make it sound, the more boomery it is.
The more stepdad you make it sound. That's the term. Shout out to Ben Eller. If you guys know, you know. You know, it's kind of funny hearing the term boomer bins because I've been in situations. I remember the last time I was in this situation. I was in yoga a few years ago. I haven't done yoga in a while. But I met an older gentleman. He was really into music and we were talking about music and like one of the things he brought up was like, oh, like music's not what it used to be, you know, like music used to be good. And I was like, yeah, like totally, dude. Like Bach, Soar. And he was like, no, like classic rock, man. And I was just like, no, that's like the worst era of music ever. Are you kidding me? At least modern metal has like some substance to it, but classic rock is literally just all glamour and no substance, except for like Queen, if that's even classic rock. Stuff like that is really good, obviously. But a lot of those like hair party bands, like it almost makes me feel like I'm the first boomer. I look at them as children. I'm like, you're the reason why culture has fallen. It was you. It used to be perfect.
We didn't make that term in an offensive way. It was more so just like it starts with a B and Ben starts with a B. So it became a catchy phrase in that way. And I think a lot of baby boomers
You should be a lyricist, man. That's pretty good.
Upset at that term, but that's all right because, you know, it's just a way to describe
Too bad your songs don't have words. Okay.
a sound. Play guitar _ bass asks, what makes a great guitar solo? For me, how memorable.
What was that cut?
For me, how memorable.
For me? Why'd you guys do him dirty like that?
What makes a great guitar solo? For me, how memorable the solo is, and if you can sing the solo.
Oh yeah, dude. That's what you're all about. I know. How memorable the solo is, and if you could sing it. I'm sorry, can we hear what you were playing in the beginning there? Yeah, boom.
I'm Tim Henson, and I'm here today.
So boom. Yeah, dude. Pretty memorable. Pretty singable.
I think the guitar solo from Bohemian Rhapsody is
Hey, Queen. Yeah. That's the link. That's the link between us.
one of the best guitar solos of all time.
It's alright.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that you have it locked and loaded too. I think I could maybe play that solo right now. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. I think that's all I have.
Someone sent me a good guitar lesson vid on finger tapping. And we can go over finger tapping right now. One of the easier, flashier techniques, which is fun because it doesn't take a lot of effort.
Spoken like a true loser guitarist. It's nice because it's easy. And you don't have to do a whole lot of work and use the rest of your time just sitting around doing nothing.
On the 5th fret and the 8th fret of the B string. And then 12.
Thank God he's saying fret numbers. Thank freaking God. Let me see that again.
Starting.
What was that pause? Were you counting there? Did you gotta count your numbers? Starting on the 5th fret.
On the 5th fret.
I'm just messing around, Tim. I'm sorry.
And the 8th fret of the B string. And then 12 with your right hand. Sage of Quay asks, upgrade versus upscale. Is upgrading a cheap guitar worth it, or are expensive guitars just a scam?
Expensive electric guitars are a scam for sure. If you're spending more than $150 on an electric guitar, you got ripped off. That was a scam. I could empty out my trash can and make you an electric guitar that sounds better than the best electric guitar. I'm just like so talking crap right now. But yeah, what are you even buying in like an expensive, like a $20,000 electric guitar? What are you getting in that? Tone? I thought the tone comes from the electronics and stuff, right? Like how nice it feels. You can just buy some sandpaper, right? I don't know, that's all I'm saying. I'd say $500 max. If you spend more than $500, you're kind of just being frivolous in my opinion.
Personally, do not think that expensive guitars are a scam. I think after a certain price point, that's about as good as the guitar is going to get. You can find really, really great guitars with what I call mojo. Those instruments just have a great feeling. You can find those for under $500, $1,000.
Dang, dude, he agrees with me, dude. $500. That's all you need, man. Just play a Squire.
$1,500 mark is where you're going to have like a fairly like intermediate, it's going to be a good guitar. And then after $2,000 and up is kind of where you're going to find like really well crafted guitars, and they're intonated better. So for example, intonation
Wait,
is...
I thought intonation could be adjusted. Isn't it like adjustable on that little thing right there where the whammy bar is? Am I missing something? Am I wrong? I might be wrong, I don't know.
hitting the harmonic of the 12th fret,
The what of the 12th fret?
then hitting the
The
12th
what of the 12th what?
fret. And how well those match together is how well intonated that guitar is. For example, this guitar.
It's alright.
Pretty well intonated.
It's okay.
If we were to pick up...
Dude, you carry around, you got your...
pick
Where'd
up
you get that thing, man? You just carry that around as an example guitar? Look at this piece of crap. I found this in a freaking Guitar Center for $99.
see how well this one is intonated.
Came out of a box. Oh my god, did you use the practice amp that it came with? Why aren't you using your processing on the other guitar?
Well, this one is intonated.
Oh, dude, you need to like wash your hands after playing that thing. That guitar is gross. What is with that feedback? You know it's bad when there's feedback while the string is sounding, too. There's like no hiding it. What a piece of crap. No wonder. I'm surprised that it even makes a noise. You'd think the strings would just be smashed against the fretboard. It's just like so not set up.
Not the best intonated.
Dude, the freaking Starcaster. Yeah, it's not a Stratocaster. It's a Starcaster. We don't have the budget for the Squire Strat. It has to be a Starcaster.
You're going to be performing in front of a crowd and you want a stable workhorse, probably want to spend a little bit more on your guitar. Blues Web Radio asks, what does the tone knob actually do? With the tone knob all the way up?
Dude, what kind of music was that even? It went like country there for a second. What? What is going on? Screw it, I'm gonna try. I'm not gonna learn it, but I'm just gonna play along with it. See if I can glean some knowledge from old Timmy Henny over here.
With the tone knob all the way up?
Yeah. Oh, so he did like one of those. Oh, he just like... Oh my god, I can't do it. So I'm hearing like some sort of parallel third, but I don't think I could maybe do it here. Oh my god, I can't even play with my fingers. My right hand fingers aren't even working after doing this for so long.
How the f are you sweep picking? My left hand ain't that fast. So the first thing
Your
that
left hand ain't that fast? What are you freaking not practicing enough?
you're gonna want to do when sweep
Honestly,
picking
it's
is
the right hand that's the hardest part, right?
just very, very slow. Both hands need to be perfectly in sync. To go into that motion, you're gonna want to think of the pick falling in a sweeping motion and falling back up.
Falling back up. Tim Henson. Alright, sweep picking's next.
In a sweeping motion. So once you've practiced that enough, you can bring that up to speed and do.
Wow, what an epic example. That was nice. I liked that. Okay. Whatever. whatever. You get the idea. Okay. God, we're not even halfway through this video.
And sweep picking. Simon V. Radio DJ asks, right, so can the guitar players out there explain different tunings for guitar?
No, I think we might be done. Hey, you know what? I have reached my limit of reacting today because it's been over an hour, which is insane. I think it's time we put an end to this. So, we only watched like the first 40% of that because I spent most of my time just like trying to play similar sounding stuff. I didn't come anywhere close, but I can't wait to hear the comments about like how it wasn't anywhere close. I appreciate that. I take no pride in being able to play like that, so it's fine. Criticize my classical playing though. That will hurt my feelings. You know, as usual, I don't mean any disrespect to Tim Henson. He seems like a nice guy, you know? Like, he plays, like, technical music that's super popular despite it being technical. For a few reasons, like, I think Polyphia presents themselves well, and specifically Tim, he looks like a really like cool looking guy, which helps. That helps for sure. And also their music is cool. Like I said, it's like stuff that you'd want to hear in a club. It has a beat, it sounds cool, it's musically complex, but in a way that's like still simple. I love when people talk about like Marston's music or like Tim Henson's playing, and like they hear me like just commenting on it and they're like, you don't even understand their music. It's like, really? Like, do you know how complex things can get? Like, you're right, like, I don't understand everything, but I mean, if you can follow along with it and you get that it's not like changing key or anything and like it's all just like diatonic notes like played fast rhythmically with like fast rhythms, like there's not that much to it, you know? Like, it's the technical skill that's impressive, but all in all, like, you can reduce it down to like just simple harmony, which like that's besides the point. I'm trying to praise them right now. It's just music that toes the line well between like simple and complex. It's complex in the ways that people want to hear, and it's simple in the ways that make it still approachable, and that's why they're hyper successful. Am I jealous? No, of course I'm not jealous. Of course not. I'm exiled to doing reaction videos on YouTube for a living, so why would I be jealous? I don't even do this for a living. I do this for fun, believe it or not. But I do use my platform as a way to get new students, classical students, students interested in classical guitar. So, you know, if you're interested in that, feel free to check out my email and inquire about lessons. There's other details in the description as well. Join me on my journey through grad school that'll be starting soon. I offer lots of value for a very reasonable price. Well, you know, if you made it this far, be sure to subscribe, leave a like. I already said the lesson thing, so, you know, be sure to check out that. Head on down over to Rootin's Delight for some merch. I got some merch for you, honest merch. And yeah, anything else? Check out the podcast, check out all my other stuff in the channel, watch another video, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.